Okay, here's why going into credit card debt actually makes you rich.
How can you afford to travel so much? Babe, I just put it all on my credit card.
How's your debt? Are you feeling a little bit broke? If you are, this video is probably going to be a little tough to watch because I'm going to be showing some of the patterns that are getting you in debt and keeping you in debt. And you're not alone. I've dealt with my own debt. And in fact, in our current day and age, debt has become super normalized. Credit card debt, personal loan debt, moving your debt from one means to another so that you can hopefully get out of a hole, or you might be taking on debt in order to make more money so that you can eventually get out of debt. Whatever the pathway and the reason is, there are some distinct patterns that lead you down the wrong pathway. And I want to show you that debt isn't necessarily a bad thing. Just there are some patterns that we can recognize that will often put us in a position where we are worse than where we started.
What I've learned is people are more afraid of student loan debt than they are of credit card debt. Because I just posted a video talking about how I have $280,000 worth of student loan debt. And it was meant to be funny and really meant to point out the student debt crisis in the United States. But people started commenting things like, this is why I didn't go to school, the debt isn't worth it. And that was not the point of the video. And I just want to say student debt is one of the most worthwhile debts to get into, to get an education, to be able to be a high earner in the future and actually pay off that debt. So don't let debt be the reason that you don't go to school, because it'll be worth it in the end. And it's way better than struggling to pay things day to day because you don't have a high earning job because you didn't get an education.
So let's start here with this one. And education can no doubt increase your earning power, but $280,000 in student loan debt without a defined path to that income, best of luck to you. This doesn't sound like confidence to me. It sounds more like optimism without math or a defined plan. We have to keep things very logical because debt isn't just like, sitting there and it just stays the same. It grows with interest over time, and that growth can outpace your income. Debt really only works when it comes attached to a plan, and that doesn't really stop there.
I've been to 20 countries this year, and the number one question I get asked is, how can you afford to travel so much? Babe, I just put it all on my credit card. I'm in severe, crippling credit card debt. And yesterday, my only meal was a pack of cigarettes. But I'm in Cyprus!
So here's the thing. Yes, this is funny because it's just making light of a real problem. And that problem is people have turned having high interest credit card debt into their personality trait. If you can't afford going on a trip without taking on debt at 25, 28, or even 30% interest, I hate to break this to you, but you cannot afford to go on that trip. This is where social media messes with our heads because we are comparing somebody's highlight reel to our wildest hopes and dreams. And we don't realize that our bank accounts, they're not the same. And when we try to go on this trip and have all these experiences, they come at a massive cost, and that just brings future stress. But hang on, that's not where it ends because it actually can get worse.
Okay, here's why going into credit card debt actually makes you rich. I've always been shit at budgeting. I've always just bought stuff even when I don't have the money, which sounds kind of crazy, but it's also kind of making me rich. And here's what I mean. I basically got into debt where I was like, if I play this the normal way and try to stop buying coffee at Starbucks or whatever, then I'm screwed. I'm going to be screwed for 30 years because I'm not going to get out of debt. If I get this job that pays this amount, you just do the math in your head. I'm like, I'm not getting out of debt. So I just thought about it differently, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to have to make way more money. How can I make way more money so that this debt doesn't even matter? So I was getting into business. I was, making money in different ways, freelancing in these things. And I was like, getting into debt kind of made me, or is kind of making me rich.
Nah. This is how you stay broke, because debt as motivation is a failing strategy. It puts a shit ton of pressure on you and you are always fighting for your life. Making more money without controlling your spending just makes you broke at a higher level. You're bringing it in and then you're spending it faster than you bring it in. Like this doesn't work because you're not properly leveraging your debt to make money. Your debt is making your life hell. Do you notice a pattern? It'll work itself out. I'll figure it out in the future. Education is priceless, or I'll just work harder and I'll make more money. There is no plan with any of those. You're just hoping that future you will fix present you's irresponsibility. Why are you setting yourself up to fail like this? That's not a good way to go about it. I'm not anti-education. I'm not anti-travel. I'm not anti-risk. I'm just anti-delusion. And delusion without a plan is how you fail. Because wealth is boring. Budgeting is not sexy. Having delayed gratification is hard. But when you do those three, that is when you actually become wealthy rather than just giving in and trying to figure it out later on down the line. You can build wealth, you can travel, you can take risks, but always have a plan and exercise that plan with some discipline. I'll leave you with a question. Is debt ever a good motivator, or is it just financial self-sabotage? Let me know down in the comments, and I appreciate you for sticking around to the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button on your way out. I'll see you for the next one.